PvZ2 is a game with plants. PvZ2 is a game with zombies. The aim of the game is to defeat the zombies, using said plants. And there's a lot of types of zombies to bash. Basics, cones, buckets, bricks, towers, skulls, ice, zombies that wield staves, rocks, jetpacks, newspapers, bikes, torches, are goofy, are stuck, are infuriating, can throw snowballs, can fly. There's also so many reskins of gargantuars and imps, which sounds cute on paper, but it only makes editing this part harder. There's also Z-Corp zombies, the worst part about them being they work a 9 to 5. The gang just can't get enough of zombies, clearly, and they are definitely the direction this game should take, clearly. The worst part about this game, undoubtedly, is the zombies. Why? Well... Minecraft. Such a serene game. What? Ha! Zombies are never a good addition to any game, which is really weird, considering so many games have them. I'm going to go over every adventure zombie in the game up until insert current version here and convince you how every single one makes the game worse simply by existing. Ancient Egypt. Actually, before that, let's talk about basics. The armor 0s, 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s of the crowd. Cones, buckets, and everyone else. And Gargs. They have a problem that all zombies share, that being, they make me lose. I mean, think about it. The state you want to be in PvZ is a state where zombies are farthest away from your house. Compare this scenario to this scenario. Which one makes you feel better? That's right, the first one. When any zombie appears on your screen, you know that that zombie can kill you, which is bad because you lose. If you choose to not lose, however, you have to instead lose resources you would have kept had that zombie not shown up, namely sun and planting space. This problem gets worse and worse as you add more armor. Basics are better than cone heads, which are better than buckets, and so on. And Gargs. Imps just suck in general. They have so much HP and speed, can appear damn near anywhere on your lawn, and are overall big pieces of crap. And Gargs. Every other zombie has an extra flaw aside from this, which I'll get into. With that said, let's actually start with Ancient Egypt. This one shouldn't be too hard to figure out. He steals your sun. If you don't react fast enough, or are currently dealing with other annoying threats, he will take your sun. This could mean you lose out on planting. I know, shocking, you could lose planting a cherry and die. Sends out 3 zombies for the points of 1. Straight shooters like stupid old pea shooter have a terrible time against these guys due to their very large numbers. They also work well as meat shields and can easily stack up due to their slower movement speed. Fast movement speed and the ability to destroy any plant he comes in contact with. This means he can mow down entire lanes by himself if your attackers can't perform well in the short time they have between his spawn and their demise. His torch can also be reignited if it ever gets put out, so make sure not to bring fire plants. I love denying entire strategies. You know, slow movement speed, throws bones, blocks pea shooter, makes you spend an entire 0 cell on Gravebuster. Yeah, that guy. These guys can stack up a lot of high HP graves if you don't deal with them, which then push the front line backward, making it the middle line. There's a reason why Newspaper Zombie was left until the second world, and not introduced immediately, and the worst part of it is that it was buffed from PvZ1. Such a high HP threat should not be a part of the first world. Quick! You have exactly 5 seconds to take out your credit card and spend $4.99 on Snowpea before this guy destroys the entire lane he's in, the mower, and your house. Flag Zombie, Rally Zombie, Gargantuar. Ah, what a serene ship. Surely no zombie will suddenly appear in, swinging to column 5, skipping half the lawn just because it feels like it, because that would be way too unfair for such an early game. What? Why even make plankless lanes when you're just gonna put zombies on them? Are you psychologically conditioning your players to plant their plants away from those lanes before pulling the rug from under them by spamming zombies in those lanes? And for what, just to sell more plant food? Yes, it's true. Boo-hoo, you and your big barrel! The problem with this guy is not his high HP barrel. The actual problem is that he is a zombie that, On death, we'll drop a barrel that spawns 2 imps on adjacent lanes 1 tile forward. Yes, 1 tile forward. Priorities. The only way to deal with imp cannon is with a citron shot. It's a really weird way to balance a zombie, but whatever, it's fine. Captain does nothing, but his stupid parrot has way too much HP, grabs plants way too fast, thereby instantly killing them, and he's not even sorry about it. He do it again! Quick! You have exactly 5 seconds to take out your credit card and buy... What counter is the guy? Chomper! Spend $1.99 on Chomper before it eats the whole lane, mower, and house! Flag zombie, rally zombie, gargantua. I know that, as an internet user, you'd think I like gambling, but I only like gambling when it benefits me, not when I lose. And I lose 50% of the time while facing this zombie, and I don't really like those odds. The worst crime this guy commits is making you use split P. On touch or on death, Chicken Wrangler will spawn a ton of very high-speed chickens. These chickens counter high-damage plants like Citron. And you know how I feel about Citron. I love denying entire strategies. You know when you go to unload your entire insta arsenal on one zombie, and while you're doing that, it runs away to another lane? Yeah, guess which zombie allows that to happen? He also eats 100 of your sun if you ever decide to use spikeweed. Fear strikes into the souls of the ones who hear the foul beast's footsteps. It approaches slowly, having identified your fears. You see it standing there, your body frozen with fear. Some part of you has hope that its stillness indicates it being docile, but that hope is quickly scrubbed away as its eyes light up with a red-hot fire. It starts rapidly charging right toward a huge goalpost with your death scrawled on it. It seems entirely unstoppable, no matter how much you throw at it. Eventually, it stumbles upon a plant. Something as inconsequential as that is very important, and you did not know that at the time. It stops dead in its tracks, much to your confusion, before... Fear strikes into the souls of the ones who hear the foul beast's footsteps. It approaches slowly, having identified your fears. You see it standing there, your body frozen with fear. Some part of you has hope that its stillness indicates it being docile, but that hope is quickly scrubbed away as its eyes light up with a red-hot fire. It starts rapidly charging right toward a huge goalpost with your death scrawled on it. It seems entirely unstoppable, no matter how much you throw at it. Eventually, it stumbles upon a plant. Something as inconsequential as that is very important, and you did not know that at the time. It stops dead in its tracks, much to your confusion, before... Flag zombie, rally zombie, gargantua. Jetpack is the only exception to the every zombie has an extra flaw aside from the basics rule. He's identical to a basic. There we go. People hate healer in PvZ2, but shield zombie is also functionally a healer, spawning and respawning a 1200 HP shield. This means that, functionally, shield zombie has infinite HP. You can understand why I dislike him. Discotron is way too slow. It ends up spawning way too many disco jetpacks as it sits in the back of the lawn, which can block citron shots from hitting the big huge mechs in this world. Football mech is the single most disruptive threat on the lanes it attacks. If it triggers its ability, the only countermeasure is restarting the level. At least it has 1,000,000 degrades, making it really easy to tell how close it is to death. Quick, find a way for PopCap to stop making veteran versions of zombies that are just speed increases. Flag zombie, rally zombie, gargantua. Wait! Gargantua Prime! Oh, that's not what he'd say. Oh, Dawn! That's one strong Gargantua variant! Quick! Deploy the EM Peaches! We must stop his targeted laser attack, an attack which, broadly, destroys the plants that it touches. These plants being, usually, approximately, in the first 2 columns. The unliving embodiment of a snowball. A very magic snowball which snowballs faster and faster, snowballing more and more fluffy snowball sheep plants removal, stopping zombie snowball causal of disablement, equal with Graves. Ah! Graves block this guy. The zombies he spawns block this guy. His high HP blocks this guy. What else could you want from a terrible, annoying zombie? He doesn't even move. He just sits back in column 9 and absorbs anything but instas, including Magnet Shroom. This guy technically exists. Vanilla did nothing with him, so I'm convinced he was only put here so that modders could eventually ruin Frostbite Caves. Flag zombie, rally zombie, gargantua. PopCap keeps trying to bring back plants and zombies from the first game, seemingly only for nostalgia. This guy is not an exception. There's something really strange about him, though, and I don't know why. Some like weird multiversal force compels me to say something positive about this guy, so instead I'll just move on. Surfer Zombie does so many things that he has functionally two specials. One that rushes, kills a plant and drops a high HP grid item, and another slow-moving zombie that lays gravestones all over the lawn. This brings the Big Wave Beach special count up to 5. In certain instances, though, he serves an additional purpose. I won't mention what this is though, for some reason. So realistically, he counts as 3 specials. In ECLISE, a tough zombie is added to the world, which makes Surfer have another use, that being a tank synergy. So really, Big Wave Beach can potentially have 7 specials. Grave Creator Stop are identical to Wizard Menu cases, throws octopi, not throw sheep. Magic No More, not Staff Big Zombie Thrower. Remove space, snowball stack HP. Not Gone When Gone, causes death, only remove instas with big damage, no HP is bad when attacking, bad pea shooter, no work. Stop trying to drag all my plants into the water when you didn't give me nearly enough plants that survive on water. What am I supposed to do when all my plants get dragged into the water? The worst part though is that he can't win on his own, so he's just a big dumb insult. Flag Zombie, Rally Zombie, Gargantuar. Dodo is a big dumb bird that flies over the world gimmick. He does nothing else other than being anti-synergy with the world, which is not much considering this entire world has anti-synergy with itself. The worst part about this guy is that he fills up columns 7, 8, and 9 with ice blocks that you might accidentally interact with and spawn imps. Other than that though, he takes 2 years to get on screen when he spawns. I love denying entire speedrun strategies. Chicken, Flag Zombie, Rally Zombie, Gargantuar. No, I won't talk about him. Ah, what a serene golden ground. Surely no zombie will suddenly appear swinging in column 4 to 6, skipping half the launches because it feels like it, because that would be way too unfair for such an early game. Why? Get it. He's fine. Excavator Zombie counters straight shooters, which are the worst kind of plant, but even then it entirely denies strategy. At least it counters walls in a unique way, that being entirely removing thousands of HP from the lawn, once again denying strategy. I love denying entire strategies. Parasol Zombie blocks all lobbing projectiles. Unlike Excavator, this will fully negate the projectile entirely and deny it from dealing additional splash damage. Its job is to synergize with Excavator, encouraging setups that rely on both, or pierce through both, with a single plant. Importer turns the incredibly overpowered gold tiles into incredibly overpowered gold tiles, allowing infinite zombies to spawn from a single tile, sometimes deep into your lawn. It only takes 1 bucket hit to spawn to entirely demolish your plans and force attention to that lane. Bug Zombie. No, not the zombie it carries, the bug itself. Its job is to get right up in your business, then drop a bucket/cone-shaped package exactly where it shouldn't be. But all of that doesn't matter, because talking strictly about the bug, it is really easy to counter in 5 different ways. Raw Zombie feels good. Flag Zombie, Rally Zombie, Gargantuar. A fast, early game threat that instantly kills plants? That might sound impossible, but he has a counter in Magnetrum, which is practically required to deal with him efficiently. I genuinely cannot find a reason to hate this zombie due to its lack of anything interesting. This is why it sucks. Breakdancer may seem like a regular average zombie, but when Rap Jam starts, the 20 of them that were stacked up before the jam begins start to throw themselves recursively, and now you're dead. MC Zombie also triggers during Rap Jam, and with Breakdancer he has a way higher sphere of influence. His ability destroys plants in a 3x3 area, but with Breakdancer he actually destroys plants in a 9x3 area. And if you factor in zombies from other worlds and slider tiles, such as in modern day, he actually affects a 9x5 area, instantly destroying all of your plants. Power creep in PvZ2 is a rampant issue. We need your help to reduce it as much as possible. One proof? Here we see Arcade Zombie. Arcade Zombie is a direct upgrade from Importer. Instead of creating a grid item on specific conditions which spawns zombies, it instead is guaranteed from the moment he is spawned. Any donation to this cause does more than you think. Boombox Zombie is low-key. He's easy to miss, he has a strong effect when activating, freezing all plants and making it so if you don't have sun or your instances are on cooldown, you just have to wait it out. But the real issue is that they created an entire incredible song and only used 10 seconds! Flag Zombie, Rally Zombie, Hair Metal Gargantuar. He gets his own jam, luckily, because at least it's just him. He absolutely shreds lanes the moment Metal Jam starts, meaning you have to deal with him or else. Great game design to introduce a plant that does an entirely new thing, knockbacking zombies, then immediately add a counter to that plant. The worst part is that this is the only trait Bully has. I'm no longer creeps, this is just me. No, I didn't forget anyone. Newspaper Zombie is not nearly threatening enough, especially when he's already been a zombie introduced in the first world. Which is why they had to make him way worse. The high newspaper health means he gets way farther into your defense before charging, which then quintuples his E DPS and flightifies his speed. He's the reason why modded PvZ1 content is the way it is. Super Fan M spawns in huge hordes, which allows him to activate his ability a lot more reliably due to the sheer number of them. His ability is to instantly destroy a plant when being kicked by All-Star. He's incredibly threatening due to his spam ability. Even if All-Star is not present, he can still explode when reaching column 3, which is usually where your attackers are. He is a high priority target. All-Star's most dangerous ability is that he can throw Super Phantoms. He can also rush in and destroy the first plant he touches, but that's just a side ability. What great zombie will I end this video on? Balloon Zombie. Not the zombie, the balloon. Anyways, I hope I've made this video longer than 6 minutes so that I can make a cute callback to my previous video. Zombies were a terrible decision on PopCap's part, and I hope that in a future PvZ2 update, they will realize their mistake and delete zombies from the game. Maybe then we can have peace. For once. Because I surely don't trust them with adding any new content, so instead they should just remove content until there's nothing left. This video is not an April Fool's joke, and it is not a parody on Creeps20 and his style of video and mannerisms. It's especially not a critique of said videos on top of all the other stuff I said it isn't. So please do not comment on this video acknowledging the joke, because the comments you guys left on the last video still make me laugh 2 years later. Anyways, I've gotta go eat, drink water, shower, finish my D&D session, paint more minifigs, do whatever it is you do in Risk of Rain 2, make Alphas, not make Garden Rush, and sleep. Because writing this has tired me significantly. This has been Fricks, and have a good night.